We're going to start with something very interesting. And as promised, this is helpful for those aspiring event hosts or public speakers. Ay, doon sa dati ko or sa huli kong video, I said I'll be doing this. That's why I'm doing it. Clear? And this is for free. Just watch it. Try to see how you could incorporate it. Paano niya apply yung skills and knowledge that I'll be sharing today para okay ang takbo ng event mo or when you are now conducting a public speaking engagement, so to speak. We're going to talk about first presence in terms of opening. All right? Here's what's going to happen. I will be sharing with you a template. This would be a good starting point until you're able to develop it further. We're going to start with the basics. Now, what are the basics? Kailangan meron kang format na sinusunod when you're starting out to make sure that when you create it, yung opening mo, it becomes very easy for you. At the onset, when you're starting out, it's always better to write it down, what you plan to say, how long it would take, because always remember, yung attention span ng mga nanonood sa'yo or the attention span of your audience or participants. We're gonna dive into event hosting muna and then public speaking. There are minor differences, but it's always best that we understand how it works or at least have a structure. So may format tayo. So here's what we're gonna have. The format that we're gonna have is pretty simple, so to speak. And you may want to write this down or not, but pretty much I'll be making sure that there's a document that you could or a link where you could go. I'll share it in my Google Docs. So opening basics, this is specific to event hosting, okay? Event hosting muna. So the first one would be greeting and welcome. That's the first step. You start with a warm greeting to make everyone feel included. And then you have to have this upbeat or at least hindi yung sad demeanor. Yung tone mo, when it comes to the tone, it has to be high, a little bit high. And then the pitch, so to speak, should be a little bit fast para exciting the thing. For example, without the tone and the pitch and just having the structure lang, greeting and welcome. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to see all of you here tonight to celebrate this wedding or to celebrate this birthday or to celebrate Kuya Ramil's 60th birthday. Walang dating, right? So it has to be a little bit fast and mataas yung tone para level up. May energy. There's energy. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to see all of you here tonight to celebrate Kuya Ramil's 75th birthday. Greeting and welcome. It has to be warm and make everyone feel included. You could come up with your own spiel, but later on, just like I said, I'll come up with a template para papalitan lang ninyo yung okasyon or yung adjective. Rather than saying, good evening, everyone, I'm so happy. Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to have all of you here join me in celebrating Kuya Ramil. You know, you just have to replace lang kung ano yung adjective na gusto nyo and then the occasion and the verb. So it's going to be easy for you. And that's greeting and welcome. The next one that we have would be, of course, introduce mo yung sarili mo. Introduce yourself. Briefly introduce yourself and your role as the host. It could be as simple as, my name is Rafael, I will be your host, and I will make sure that everyone will be happy today. Right? But what I have here for your template would be, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Itchy Rebel, and I'm excited to be your host this evening. This is not my first rodeo. I've done a lot of birthdays, I've done a lot of weddings, I've done a lot of social events, but you know what makes it successful? It's not me, it's you, the audience, because everyone came here with love in their hearts to celebrate and be part of this historic journey. The birthday celebrant natin. Something to that effect. You have to introduce yourself and your role as the host. Let's now move on to the next one. You have to set the tone, okay? You share the purpose of the event and what you hope everyone enjoys or takes away from it. Kailangan may takeaway sila. Hindi yung Sharon na pinabalot na takeaway. Takeaway such as they have this feeling that they really enjoyed it, that experience. So you could say something as simple as, tonight, we'll all join together in celebrating Kuya Ramil's 60th or 75th birthday, and we will create wonderful and epic memories together. Don't worry if you're thinking na parang hindi naman ako to pag ganito. Like I said, there will be 3 templates having all of these elements, and you get to choose which template you feel is right, or you could use it as your basis in creating your own. Either way, I want to make sure that you're equipped and you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Coolio, cool beans, you have to influence them to participate. They have to know that they are required to participate. Influencing them that idea. You encourage everyone to join the celebration and participate. You could say something as simple as, so feel free to join in, share stories, make the most of this special day. I'm gonna be asking questions, trivia questions about the birthday celebrant, and you could go ahead and answer those questions. You'll get a prize, and you could share a story about that person. Yung mga marites dyan na pwede natin makuha from the birthday celebrant. It's as simple as that. So just to recap, we have greeting and welcome, followed by introduce yourself, followed by set the tone, and then invite participation. That is for event hosting, the opening basics. Got it? Now, public speaking would be like you're talking to people, like a seminar, you're sharing something, which would be a different way of approaching it. That's why we also have opening basics specific to public speaking. When you have that low, deep tone, parang seryoso yung dating. Parang mabigat. For example, sa Pinoy Big Brother. Ayan. Ba seryoso yung dating? Housemates. Yan, di ba? Ganun yung dating. So you have to find your own middle baritone na hindi masyadong high pitch. But that depends upon the topic they're going to be discussing. And we'll go more into detail about that. But this opening basics would be specific to public speaking. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Just like a while ago, greeting and intro naman yan. So you start with a warm greeting and introduce yourself. Good evening, everyone. My name is Itchy Rebel, and I'm so excited to be with all of you tonight. That's greeting and intro. You just introduce yourself, just your name. And then you set the tone. This is where you share the purpose of the event. Ba't ba tayo dito? And what you hope everyone enjoys or takes away from it. Right? Tonight, you will join me in understanding a very interesting concept. And we will learn together. Yan. So alam nila yung magaganap. Diba? So we started with greeting and intro. And then you set the tone. Now, this is the fun part. You get to choose your weapon. Ano yung kasunod? Choose your weapon. You choose between a lecture, a discussion, or story to paint a picture of what is to come. Para may idea sila ano mangyayari. Or bakit sila nandun? Ano ba matututunan nila? Ano ba marinig nila? Sa mga training program ang tawag dito WIIFM, my favorite radio station. What's in it for me? For this example, then choose your weapon. You get to choose either a lecture, a discussion, or a story. Our sample topic would be dating and relationships. Ayan. So ito yung mga examples. I want you to look at the screen, the examples that we have. So for lecture. Lecture, straightforward lang po to. So, kaya lecture tawag sa kanya, i-introduce nyo ano pag-uusapan at bakit. So here, more often than not, the real you and the real him or her appears after dating period and into the relationship once they're already in the relationship. We will be talking about dating and relationships to prepare you for what is about to come. Ayan. So it's direct lecture. Bakit ako nakikinig? Kasi tuturo niya yung dating relationship para prepared ako pag pumasok ako sa relationship after namin mag-dating, or ano expect ko after namin mag-dating at nasa relationship na kami. Stuff like that. So they already have an idea. That's lecture straightforward. If that is not your weapon of choice, then we get to choose the next weapon, discussion. Now, discussion would be throwing questions to audience and you could even let them answer. So sa simula pa lang, they're already engaged with you. May engagement na. They're already participating na. And you get to choose people na feeling mo malakas sa loob, gusto mag-share. Yun ang lagi mong tatanungin. Tanong ka sa ibabaw, then diretso sa tao. Floating questions lang. Pag may nakita ka doon na parang gustong-gusto, proactive, direct mo yung question sa kanya. What changes did you notice when the relationship phase started? So you're already out of dating, you're now in a relationship. Were there any changes? Sasagot ngayon sila, right? Were there new things about him or her that wasn't there during dating? So mag-share yan. So after nila mag-share, that's our exciting topic tonight. Dating and relationships. Hook na kaagad sila. That's the hook. They are now interested to listen na. Kasi you started with discussion. Your weapon of choice was not a lecture, but a discussion. A discussion is better than a lecture, but a lecture is also good. Pero yung personal favorite ko is better than a discussion. That would be the third one. Story. Now, the story would be basta may storya, sigurado hook ang tao. So you could start out, if your weapon of choice was a story. I'd like to share, when I was dating someone before, she always lets me make the decision where to eat. Saan ba tayo kain? Dito lang tayo kumain. Sa Jollibee na lang tayo. Or tayo, Burger King. Pizza. So I make the decision. What activities you do? Alis tayo. Anong gusto mo gawin? Ikaw. Doon tayo sine or bowling tayo. Bowling. Or I don't know, other activities. Kain sa labas. Kasi ako talaga puro kain ako. So that's why puro kain na sa isip ko. Right? Lakwatsa, gala-gala lang. So I get to choose the activities. And then we allowed ourselves to spend time with our own friends. So dito muna ako sa tropa ko, basketball kami, or tatambay lang kami, or iinom kami, or whatever it is. Right? Magba-Bible study kami. So there, we get, and she also ends up doing what she wants to do with her friends. Right? So there. So that's how it was. Nung nagdi-date pa lang kami. Dating pa lang. Then, we agreed to the next step and have a relationship. Ayun, everything changed. You want to know what changed? Well, buckle up. We're gonna dive into dating and relationships. When you tell that story, sigurado, when you build it, a story that a lot of people can relate to. That's why when you now jump into the topic itself, nakakinig na sila. Their attention, you have them in the palm of your hands, they're now focused on it. Right? So you get to choose your weapon, whether it's, again, a lecture, a discussion, or a story. And after doing that, once you've selected and you've did that, then you cap it off by inviting participation. Encourage everyone to join in the topic, in the discussion, and participate. It could be as simple as join me and feel free to share a story. Let's learn from each other and make the most of this experience. Got it? So there would be subtle nuances or differences between opening for an event and opening for public speaking. You guys got that? Awesome. Check the link. There would be links up there or down there, depending on how it's posted or where it's posted. The link for the shared drive para makita ninyo yung sample format. And then you could use it, or you could refine it, or you could change it. Because our next topic would be about eye contact and delivery. So again, my name is Itchy Rebel. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And this is for you, the future event host or public speaker. Bye!